today we're going to learn the 14th Mishna in the 4th chapter of Pirkei Avot. And with me here is Rabbi Nehorai. Hi friends! What does Nehorai mean? Nehorai means illumination. It means light. Why is that your name? Well, let me tell you a story. I forgot all the Torah I learned. You forgot all the Torah you learned? Yes, my name wasn't always Rabbi Nehorai. My name used to be Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. I used to live in Yavne with all of the friends and the Torah scholars, but my wife wanted to move. Where did she want to move to? Why did she want to move from a place of Torah? Well, it was sort of squinchy there, and the apartments weren't so big, and there wasn't such a great view, and she wanted to live in a beautiful area. She wanted to live in Diomaset, but in Diomaset, I didn't have anyone to study Torah with. No one there was a Torah scholar. And so I slowly forgot all my Torah until I even forgot how to read. Eventually, when I moved back to Yavne, to all my friends, they prayed for me, and I remembered all the Torah I forgot. And since then, my nickname is Nehorai, illumination, because my friend's prayer caused my Torah to come back to me and to me to be re-illuminated. So can you read us your Mishnah? Is your Mishnah connected to friends and Torah study and maybe choosing where to live? Of course! Rabbi Nehorai, that's me, would say, if Torah is not being taught in the place where you live, you should find another place because Torah will not come looking for you. Having a good study partner, a Havruta, a friend, will make sure that the Torah you learn will stay with you. We learn this from the Pasuk in Mishlei, do not rely on your own understanding of something. Wow. But like when you imagine great sages and great rabbis, I never think of them as having friends. For example, like who was Baba Sali's friend? Or who was Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu's friend? Well, actually, you said it yourself. They were friends with each other. Really? Yeah, the Baba Sali was a very close friend of Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu, who used to be the chief rabbi of the Beit Din in Yerushalayim. One day, someone came to visit him from the south. And in those days, in the 70s, having a private car was a very rare thing. Most people took the bus. And so when Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu saw that this person had a private car, he asked his wife, why don't we go down with this person down south and visit Baba Sali in Netivot? We could hitch a ride. And so the practical and responsible wife of Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu said, that's a great idea. Let me just check what time the buses are back to Jerusalem. And she checked the bus schedule, and she saw that there's a bus from Netivot to Ramle that leaves at 8 o'clock in the evening, and then from Ramle to Jerusalem that leaves at 11 o'clock at night. So yes, we could make it. Let's hitch a ride with this friend of yours that came to visit you in Jerusalem, and that way we'll get to Netivot down south. They finally arrived at the house of the Baba Sali and knocked on the door, but his wife opened the door and said, I'm terribly sorry, but Baba Sali is not accepting any visitors at all right now. Oh wow, it must be something so serious. We came all the way from Jerusalem to visit Baba Sali. If he can't accept us as visitors, well, I guess we'll just have to go back to Jerusalem. And suddenly they heard a voice calling out from the room, let them in! It's Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu! I've been waiting for him for a few days. What? Oh, of course. And Baba Sali's wife rushed them in. Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu went into the room where Baba Sali was sitting, and the two wives sat together. Baba Sali's wife started crying. My husband hasn't been eating for 5 whole days. Do you know what that is for a Moroccan woman? For a Moroccan wife that her husband wouldn't eat for 5 days? Do you know what suffering I'm going through? I'm so worried. I'm terribly worried about him. I know your husband is friends with my husband. Could you please ask your husband to convince my husband to eat something? My husband is fasting because he feels there's a terrible verdict in heaven on the people of Israel, and he's trying to cancel it by fasting and praying. Please tell your husband to tell my husband to eat something. Baba Sali's wife didn't even finish her sentence, and her husband called out from the room, tell Rav Mordechai Eliyahu's wife to join us for a feast and bring out food to the table. We're going to have a feast together. The decree has been annulled. He wants to eat? Oh my goodness, look what your visit did to him. And so they set the table and had a big feast together, but the time was approaching for the bus to Ramle from Netivot to leave so they could make it to the bus to Jerusalem from Ramle. Chacham Mordechai, Eliyahu's wife, started, hinting to him and making faces and hand motions that it's time to, get on with the Birkat Hamazon and do my Machronim and, say the blessings after the meal to make it to the bus on time. The Baba Sali was sitting with his back to Chacham Mordechai, Eliyahu's wife, and didn't see all the hand motions and faces she was making. He just said to Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu, tell your wife that you're gonna make it to Jerusalem on time, and I am gonna tell you when to leave. And so it was much after 8 o'clock at night that they left Baba Sali's house after saying the blessing of Birkat Hamazon after the meal. Thank you so much. Your visit made my husband eat. It caused the horrible decree on the people of Israel to be annulled. Thanks to your visit. Thanks to your husband's friendship with my husband. And as they left Baba Sali's apartment, Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu's wife said, well, where will we go now? So Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu said, to the bus, to Ramle. So his wife said, but what point does that have? I mean, the bus to Jerusalem will already have left. Don't worry about it. Let's try. And so Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu and his wife got on the bus from Netivot to Ramle, and his wife asks him, well, what now? It's way past 11. It's almost midnight. But her husband didn't look worried at all. And he said, let's go to the bus station, to the bus to Jerusalem, and see. And they approach the bus station where the bus is supposed to leave from Ramle to Jerusalem, and they see a bus standing there, full of passengers, and just waiting. So Rav Mordechai Eliyahu approaches the driver and asks them, what is this? Why are you standing here? Are you the bus to Jerusalem? So the driver says, yes, the engine is stuck and we haven't been able to go. And why are all the people in the bus? Asked Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu. Because they already bought a ticket, the driver said, so they're hoping maybe someone will come to fix the bus. Well, said Rav Mordechai Eliyahu, I'm just like everyone else and I'll buy a ticket as well. But the bus, it's stuck. Don't worry, I'll take the chance. And Rav Mordechai Eliyahu bought a ticket for him and his wife, sat down in the bus and said to the driver, why don't you try and start the bus now? So the driver tried the engine, and of course, the bus turned on. The engine worked. So the driver turns to Rav Mordechai Eliyahu and says, are you Eliyahu a Navi? So Chacham Mordechai Eliyahu said, no, I'm Eliyahu Mordechai. So what does this story come to teach us? Well, we all know what great powers of prayer and blessings and how much Torah the Baba Sali knew. Nevertheless, he couldn't cancel the decree in heaven with his own prayers and fasting. He was trying for 5 days, but a few moments with a good friend, with the power of another friend, was able to cancel the decree immediately. That's the power our friends have on us. Wow, that's amazing. Rabbi Nehorai, thank you for teaching that Mishna. I'm so excited to go meet my friends in class tomorrow and study with them. I suddenly realize how valuable they are. Thank you, Rabbi Nehorai. My pleasure. Goodbye.